So the Backstage with the Agent Edge, we're here today with Laura Jewett, who honestly, you could probably count on one hands of people that not just talk about doing it, but actually do it. Big follower of Michael Mayer. And Michael said something to us at an event we were at one time, right? You have to be predictable and reproducible to be as referable as possible. And so you are, period. So I would like to know what for you are the three basics that any agent, whether new or super seasoned, should be doing for and in their business. The top three.
Okay. Oof. Top three. All right. I would say focus and not getting distracted by the shiny stuff. So it's kind of multifaceted, but pick the things that you want to do and do them consistently. And don't give up on them because you see some other shiny object or marketing guru or whatever it is. Just focus on what you want to do and do it consistently. I think we all are guilty of that. And we go to these seminars and we go to all these things and they have the vendor booths and everything looks and sounds so amazing and life-changing and
and easy.
The easy button. Yeah. So I would say, and it really does. At the end of the day, none of the shiny objects work. It really comes down to the basics, maintaining a good database, working in your database every day, and connecting with your database and in ways that are meaningful to you, because if they're meaningful to you, that will resonate with your clients.
Right, because your clients are human.
They are human.
Just like us.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And they don't like to be sold or marketed to. None of us do. Yeah. So communicate with them on a level that you would want to be communicated with. So for me, that means I don't call them to ask if they have any referrals or if they are ready to buy or sell a house. I call to invite them to an event or to a movie or to a holiday party or to come, get dirty with me at a service day with one of our charity partners. Those things are meaningful to me, and who doesn't want to be invited to something fun? And at these events, we're not selling to them. I'm not asking them for, having these conversations of hey, got anybody wants to buy or sell? We're having fun. We're connecting. We're laughing. We're getting pictures together. We're connecting. And I think that's what it's really about is stop being a salesperson. You're a consultant. If you're in real estate, you're a consultant. Get salesperson out of your
Yeah, people don't want to be sold. They want to buy.
No one does.
Yeah.
And no one wants, I don't care if it's buying a new bed or flooring, no one wants commission breath.
No. They smell it a mile away.
Yeah, it's so very true.
Yeah,
so true.
Being there for their needs, not your own.
I think I love your shiny object thing because all of our inboxes get full of so much stuff. And I was the queen of, my coach made me do it a long time ago, is I had these projects because I could implement, but then she made me rank what percentage they were done.
Ouch.
Right?
Yeah.
And going, if I would just have finished that one, I would have been so much better off instead of getting the shiny object syndrome. Love that.
Yeah.
Great advice.
So true.
Did I do 3? I think I did 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think got it.
What would you tell a brand new agent to really, what would be your wisdom?
Goodness. It's an intimidating. I know everybody thinks real estate is so easy and the commissions are so big. And then when they kind of get into it, they realize, maybe it's not. So I'd say first and foremost, before you get into the business, really explore what it is and if it's something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, just don't even bother. There are, 20,000 plus agents and
I think 46,000 agents.
Yeah, everybody knows a realtor. Unless you're planning on doing it full time and getting into it for the right reasons, I I would say choose a different career path. And that might be a little harsh, but
It's true, though.
It is true. And then, I think, shadow somebody before you go into the business to make sure that it is. Get a realistic idea of what it entails. Are you a self-starter? Like, if you're not a self-starter, unless you're working for a team that's just feeding you leads, there's, not probably the the ideal position for you. So I would say, and then even after you get into the business, shadowing somebody is the best way to learn. Finding somebody that's reputable, that does business the way that you envision yourself doing business, and I think that you can connect with, and I think that's the best way to learn and to get as much experience as possible in the shortest amount of time.
I think, I always say that to be careful, even though somebody's in the business a long time, they could be having to redo their business every year different. And I think that is great advice that you gave to mentor around somebody that actually has a business how you would see yourself. Um, you know, I'm a big fan of staying in front of, I made 21 past calls today to past clients. Because this week
Incredible.
was
By how many
M
calls
for
she
the
can
quarter.
make.
You get a lot of voicemails, but they are hearing from me and they're hearing from you. And that's what you do when you invite. And it's actually you. It's not a dialer. It's actually you leaving a voicemail, and people can tell how much you care. And I think the big thing is trust but verify, who you're getting mentored by. And if someone says, oh, get into real estate, it's so easy,
Walk away.
Well, yeah,
they
run.
they're hopefully they're watching this right now and they can go, let's keep it real, right? On what it really is. And it's a great business.
It's
It
an
really is.
amazing business that is so full of opportunity and so many different avenues that you can take with it. But it takes constant, continual education and lots of work. You don't get normal days off, forget weekends, forget nights. Yes, you can set boundaries in a schedule, but at the end of the day, you're again supporting somebody's biggest investment. Yeah, I'm not going to tell them, no, we can deal with that tomorrow. So it's, really understand that if you want to come home in the evenings and sit on the couch and not have to think about anything until the next morning, not the job for you.
Not at all.
So, what are 2 resources or tools that have been game changers for you?
I think, as Sandy mentioned, Michael Mayer, 7 Levels of Communication, I think has been, it really speaks to my philosophy of how I want to conduct my business and connect with my clients. So I think that's been a real game changer for me. It's an easy read. Even if you don't follow all the principles of it, I think it's worth every agent reading. And just, if you take a couple of different pieces out of it, I don't subscribe to every recommendation they have in there. But I think, again, if you implement the things that you really connect with, it can be a game changer, I think, in any real estate agent's business. But again, consistency. If you're going to do it.
Yeah. And I would say that's the hardest part.
Yep.
Yeah.
For any of us sitting at the table, whether it's title or mortgage or real estate, it's very easy to get distracted, and you think, oh my God, I looked at my list this morning. I'm like, 21. Oh, sure. Do I quit before I start? And the little devil on my shoulder, no, don't quit. Yeah, go, blah, 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 go shopping, And then you get done and you're like, oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most wonderful feeling,
Just, to have accomplished it. But
Well, and it's remembering, especially as an agent that might not be focusing on their database, there's people in your community getting married, getting divorced, having children, retiring. The number one second home buyer right now are grandparents moving to be by their grandbabies.
oh my gosh,
Right?
so many clients that are
So crazy,
moving
according to
be
NAR,
closer
right?
to, well,
It's so
just personal
crazy.
experience. I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to know whether it's somebody in the beginning, middle, or end of their real estate, how your buyer conversations and seller conversations have changed and what it's morphed into now when you talk compared to what it was maybe when you were ish.
I mean, I guess for me, I don't feel like I ever go into a listing appointment anymore. It's just, there's already established relationships. And so I think that's certainly gotten, back when I first started, that was like the scariest thing ever, is to go into these listing appointments. And, back then I was, I was licensed when I was 22. So I looked like a baby, and these people.
You still look like a baby.
You're so kind. But trying to get establish some, and again, that's for anybody entering this business, to establish a level of respect, and for people that were well off and that kind of thing, and getting them to trust you and that you knew what you were doing, and that was challenging back in the day. So I think now, again, working with only warm leads, I feel very fortunate, because it's just, again, it's more family. Just
That's the amazing.
That's what
part of
24
a
years got you,
business.
but
A business based on referrals. There's that transfer of trust from someone to someone else instead of doing it via stranger danger kind of thing.
Yeah, and it is a crazy world, and I've had some scary moments through the years, and so it's I definitely like the circle that I'm in with referral based.
Awesome.
So if an agent wants to get a hold of you, because I know you do have a team, so if an agent would like to get a hold of you to ask any questions, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'd say check out my website, see what I'm all about. I think I'm proud of my website. I think it tells the story of who I am and what's important to me. So I'd say first and foremost, check that out. If you're still intrigued and want to talk to me, just reach out.
So if you're an agent out there and you want to come on the Agent Edge podcast, make sure to connect with either myself, Bree, or Lynn, and we'd love to talk with you. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks, Laura.
Thank
Thank you.
Appreciate it.